Yeah, real proud of our kids. Came out, jumped on them, got off to a good start, and I think we just kept getting better as the game went on. I thought we checked a lot of boxes that we set out to. Really good transition on both ends of the field. Limited them to 12 shots in an entire game, which is a pretty impressive stat. I think we had a ton of different goal scorers, a lot of assisted goals. I think a lot of things that we set out to do on both sides of the field. So. I thought we were really played complementary lacrosse, and the draws were great. Goalie play was outstanding, which that's starting to become a trend now. We're a team that struggled in a few of those areas early in the season, and our goalie play has been led by Nat, has been off the charts. So real proud about that, and I think we just continue to make strides. We're a young group that's just getting better and getting more confident, and our job as coaches is to keep pushing that.
I'm Karen from the Statesman. I have a few questions for Coach just to start off. Charlotte and Isabel both had 6-point games and combined for 8 goals. What can you say about their chemistry and just how they open up the offense for the team?
Yeah, they were playing a zone, so I think it's one of those things. Obviously, Charlotte's an elite off-ball player. Cap's a little bit different of a style player. She's a little better off a bad approach or off the dodge. So, I think our players play the right way. They share the ball. If the pass is one more, then they make the one more. If it's take it. So we try to put them in as many of those situations in practice as they can so that it becomes very instinctive and doesn't become something that's forced or something that doesn't become natural. So I think for us, I think our kids go into the game prepared in so many of those different situations, and they just play. There's our offense isn't set to move a certain way. It's really built on IQ and then playing off of each other.
You guys forced 23 turnovers today. How Blue Mariners scoreless in the second half. What was the defensive message at halftime? And what adjustments led to a dominant close?
We're a top 10 defense in the country statistically, and we take it personally when anyone scores any goal. So for us it's about being the sum of all parts. The power of 7. We talked about today the power of 7 on both ends. That's going to become a mantra for us. 7 people firing together defensively, obviously 8 with Nat, and then 7 offensively, also being able to do the same things on that side. But it takes everybody. I think Charlotte will be the first one to tell you her ability to play off ball is incredible, but without a good passer, then it doesn't matter how good you are off ball. So it's about playing smart, complementary lacrosse, like I said, and it comes down to people being able to rely on each other and just make heads up smart plays.
You mentioned earlier how the goal kick has improved. Also, the draw you guys have improved, especially today, 15 to Mary's 11. The draw circle, especially Braden leading the way. What has been working so well for you guys?
The draw unit puts a lot of time in. They do, and I think they care about what they're doing. They're starting to get more confident, and they're going to have to get more confident because I think obviously we're going to be, the competition is going to get ramped up coming up soon, and obviously we have Monmouth next week, but then we go into Princeton, who's a top 5 team in the country. So, and we have to be on our stuff. It comes down to possessions, and our offense is super efficient. So if we're scoring goals and we're getting that next possession off the draw, now it's make it, take it lacrosse. And, that's something that obviously is super beneficial to us. But those guys, the communication's been better on the circle, on the ability to place the ball where it goes, the ability to kind of make a play if the circle's locked and be able to play themselves big. And as far as Nat goes, and it's our retired goalie group, they've put the time in. They've been getting work with a goalie coach, and we're you can see the confidence brewing, and this team is Nat's done an incredible job of being able to grab the reins and play confidently. We recruited her at high school because we believed in her, and I think she's starting to believe in herself, and that's a dangerous thing.
Just last question for you. Offense looks fluid today, unselfish. How much do you say it's on discipline, coaching, and also just chemistry and trusting each other as a team?
Honestly, for coaching, I hold our players accountable. I'm not the easiest guy in the world to play for, but on game days I am, because it all manifests to being a really good team when it matters, when the lights go on. So, I hold them accountable all week, and they might not like it all the time, but I think they like it on game day when they're executing at a high level. So we try to emulate the pressure of games in practice, and it works for us. It's something that's worked for a long time. We just had one of our alums, Kylie O'Miller, just pop her head in the locker room just to meet the team and say hello and have a couple words. And it's one of the things that's worked for a long, long time. So, I think those are things that, we just talk about being consistent with our approach as coaches, then being consistent with your mentality in practice.
I'm moving questions to Charlotte now. You had a 5-goal performance today. You did 30-goal mark in the season. Kind of what was working so well for you offensively?
I mean, like Coach said, I'm somebody that definitely works a lot off ball, so I have to credit a lot of my success to the teammates around me, especially Casey Colbert. I feel like we developed a really good chemistry together, and that's been executed almost every game this season, and it's starting to get pretty hard to stop for defenses, but my success is because of everybody else, especially playing against a zone defense.
I mean, the team scored 6 unanswered goals coming out of halftime in the third quarter. What was the energy like coming out of halftime? What sparked that surge?
I think on the offensive end, in practice, we actually prepared for a man defense, and they came out in a zone defense. So we were a little caught off guard, but we were able to adjust super fast. So coming out of halftime, we just made some more X's and O's adjustments in terms of the offense and moving the ball. And I think that's why we're able to have a lot of success, is because we were just moving the ball a lot faster.
Yeah, we talked about that at half. They've played man in every game, and then tonight they threw a zone. And the good thing for us is we've had one game up to this point against man. Everything's been against zone. So we play against the best zone in the country every day in practice. So it was a quick little fix on some things and just kind of changing the mindset from that to that. And when you got a kid like this flying around off ball, we don't mind playing against zones.
All right, this last question for Charlotte. Kind of looking ahead, what is your mindset into this final stretch of conference play?
Obviously, we just want to keep up with what we're doing. We've been killing teams by a lot of goals, and we just want to keep that up, even going into the tougher competition in our conference, like Hofstra and Drexel at the tail end. So just because they're a little bit better in competition, we want to keep up the mentality of just blowing teams out and just staying true to our identity.
Definitely. Same question for Nat. Just that kind of mindset going to the final stretch of the conference play.
I think if we all have confidence, we obviously have a good chemistry together. So I think just feeding off of each other, especially I'm not on offense, but I can see from our defensive areas, we make a stop and we want the offense to have a good look, a good read. So I think that just chemistry is what we all have together.
Definitely. Just for you personally, I mean, got a lot in a goal early, but you made 6 saves in the day. Shut out William in the second half. And it was always your either adjustment or just mindset kind of rest of the match after the early 2 goals in the first quarter.
I mean, I'm trying to stay I'm always just calm, cool, and collected. So I know all right, we got the 6 saves. Let's just keep building off that. And I have an amazing goalie trainer who's been helping me out recently. So he's on the stands to the side, and I keep looking up to him, giving me good feedback, and I go from there.
They had 5 shots in the first quarter, and she had 3 saves in the first quarter that were all high level. So, they had 2 goals, but it could have been a much different situation. And she bailed us out, kind of allowed us to kind of get our bearings a little bit, wake our defense up a little bit. Because I don't know if the way we played defense early in the game, but we kind of settled down due to that.